In this video, we're going to take a look at how columns work in Word 2016. And when I'm talking about columns here, I'm not talking about table columns. That's a separate issue. What I'm talking about is newspaper style columns where there's no table involved at all, but it just takes your entire document or part of your document and divides it up into multiple columns. So let's go to our layout tab up here, and in the page setup group over here we've got an option for columns, and let's go here and click on the down arrow, and we've got one, two, and then we got unbalanced columns, unbalanced to the left or to the right, and then more columns, and we're just going to pick two here and we'll see what happens. And that's what I get. And I also I kind of messed up my title page when I did that as well. We'll talk about how to fix that in a few minutes though. So I get two columns in my document, and if I go down here and zoom all the way down to as far as I can go, which is 10%, and look at my document now, you see I've got two columns all the way from the beginning to the end. Okay. Let's go back to about 100% or maybe a little more than 100% here. And I guess I went a little too far on that. Okay, so that's about where we were before, somewhere around 150%. Let's go back to columns here, and let's take a look at some of the other options that we have here under more columns. So this will bring up our columns dialog box, and these first 5 buttons up here on the top are exactly the same thing that we had in our drop down over here, but we have a couple of other options. And if we don't want just 3 columns, if we want more than that for some reason, you can change this and make it any number that you want. We've also got an option to put a line between. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on OK. And my entire document now has a line between the 2 columns. Let's go back to columns here and go to more columns. And let's see what else we've got here. The default is to have your columns the same size. So I have an equal column width here. And so it shows you that column 1 is 3 inches and column 2 is 3 inches. And we're doing standard 8.5 by 11 paper. So, and the normal margins in Word are 1 inch over here and 1 inch over here. That leaves 6.5 inches. And if there's 3 on this side and 3 on this side, that leaves half an inch in between. And as long as we have this checked, anything except the first option here will be grayed out. So I'm going to turn that off, and now I can go in here and change that if I want to. So if I want to make this one like 3.5, notice it automatically does the arithmetic for me and decreases this by 1/2 or by 1/10 every time I click on it. So they still add up to 6 inches with a half an inch in between. Let's go ahead and click on OK. And you see I've got lopsided columns now. This one is 3.5, this one is 2.5. Let's go back to columns here again and click on more columns. And I'm going to change this back to 3. So I've got even columns again. I'm going to decrease this. Okay, I've got quite a bit of space in between here. Let's decrease this to about, let's go to 0.2. And it gives all of the extra space to this one. But if I turn on equal column width here, then the space gets divided up evenly. So let's go ahead and click on OK now. And you'll see I think I had a 57-page document before. It might have been a little bit less than that, but that reduced quite a bit of the space simply by getting rid of the extra white space on either side. So now I'm down to like 1/10 on this side and 1/10 of an inch on this side. Okay, let's go back to our columns and go to more columns to bring up the columns dialog box again. And the last thing we're going to look at is apply to. And we can either do it to the whole document or from this point forward. And I'm just going to cancel out of this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to cancel out, and we're going to go to columns here, and we're going to choose 1 for the whole document. And that should fix up my title page again now, so my title page looks better. And now let's go in here, and I'm going to go to the first line down the rabbit hole, for chapter 1. And we're going to go to columns, and we're going to choose more columns, and we're going to choose 2. And we're going to choose from this point forward, and we're going to click on OK. And when we do that, this one did not mess up my title page. Okay. And it did put in a section break and up here, and title pages are a little bit different from everything else in your document. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at setting part of your document to 2 columns and another part of your document to, say, 3 columns. Okay, so I'm going to go down here, and this is a section command, section formatting command, so it applies to an entire section. And right now we basically have one section in our document, although the cover page is now a section of its own. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go here and I'm going to insert a break, and it's going to be a section break, and it's going to be a next page. That will force this down to the beginning of a new page. So I'm going to click on that, and because I was to the left of the word chapter, the section break gets inserted above here, and because it was the next page, it's going to be at the bottom of the previous page, and that's just ordinary text, just like anything else. So if you want to delete it, you can just click on either side of it and you can delete it. It looks like I'm having a hard time clicking on the right side of it, but if I click on the left side of it here, I can hit the delete key and I'll be good. I think in order to get on the other side of it, I have to click in front of the C in the word chapter here, and then if I hit backspace, it would delete the section break. Okay, so I have a section up here with 2 columns. I have a section down here, and I want to change this section so that it has 3 columns instead. So let's go here to our columns and click on more columns, and I'm going to choose 3, and I'm going to click on OK. And now I'm going to zoom way out again. Let's go down here to 10% and take a look at our document, and you'll see right here is chapter 1. It's only 4 pages long, and right here is where chapter 2 begins, and it's also where a new section begins. And so everything applies to this section as far as the number of columns is concerned, and I got 3 in this section, and I have 2 in this section, and up here on the cover page I have 1 column. So I've actually got a 3-section document now: the cover page, chapter 1, and then everything after chapter 1. And we'll do one other thing here with sections. And let's go. I'm going to try to do this without zooming. I better zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I want to be here at the beginning of, okay, I got way down. No, this is chapter 2. Okay, so I want to be to the left of chapter 2 here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to backspace over that section break. Okay, so I'm combining chapter 1 and chapter 2 into the same section. So if I backspace over that, and let's go back here and let's zoom in a little bit more. And where is the beginning of chapter 2? Okay, I did not delete the section break, so I'm apparently going to have to go here to the left of it and hit the delete key. Okay, and I think something unexpected happens. Actually, 2 things unexpected happens. One is when I deleted that, it removed the formatting. And I don't know if that's intentional in Word, but sometimes when you delete a character, a paragraph mark in front of something that's formatted as a title, it removes the title formatting. So this, I think, was Title 1 or Title 2. If I scroll back up here and take a look at chapter 1 and click on it, and I go to the Home tab, and I see it was heading 2. So I'm going to scroll down a few pages here, and I'm going to restore that. Okay, that's kind of an annoying feature of Word, but we have to live with it. So I'm going to make that heading 2. Okay, but the other interesting thing that happened was instead of taking the formatting of section 1, which was somewhere in here and was 2 columns, and having it apply to section 2, which is what I would have expected it to do, it's the other way around. When I delete that section break, it removes the formatting for this section, and it receives the formatting for this section down here. And my theory as to why that works, let's go down to the end of the document here, and let's zoom in on that. Okay. And with a paragraph, the formatting for the paragraph is stored at the paragraph mark at the end. And apparently the formatting for a section must be stored like in that section break at the end. So when we deleted a section break at the end of chapter 1, we were deleting the formatting information for section 1 as well. So it picked up all of the formatting information from the section below, and that's the way paragraphs work, and I assume that is also the way that sections work, and that's why it picks up the formatting from the section below instead of the bottom one picking up the formatting from the section above. And there are some other things to do